Hello. Hello. How are we all doing? Oh, I forgot the thing. I forgot the thing. There's the thing. Should have done the thing. I'm an idiot. Yeah. How are we all doing? There's the thing. Thing is there. Yes. And by thing, I mean Mrs. Always excellent art. Yes, I've decided to kind of zoom in on the PAL bit. If you want to see the whole thing, go to Mrs. Twitter. I'm not sure if they post it to Instagram as well, but yeah, it's a very good thing. It is a very good thing. Miss is consistently much better at drawing PAL than me, but yeah, you. So, hello everybody. How are we all doing? Background music is quiet, probably. Work it out, it's probably just being generally quiet. It's atmospheric music from Skyrim, so thought that'd be nice in the background. Hello, Gustenberg. How you doing? What do we got? Chibi, Oobs, Miss, Try, Giro. Got a nice group of peoples. How are we all today? We all good? I hope so. If not, let's try and pick things up. That's fabulous, Goose. Look at that. Also, congratulations on your Nat 69 try. That's a good start to the stream. There's part of me that wants to make it so that if you roll a D69, you just always get 69, but it's kind of surprising just how often it seems to happen anyway. So I think it's been rolled like 10 times, and on 2 occasions it's been 69. So that's, yeah, let's make some bad decisions. Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it at all. You just woke up. Marvellous. Well, I hope you had a good sleep. Right, so, last time, well, I suppose I better switch over to things, hadn't I? Well, let's move this first, otherwise you'll see streaming software and you'll look into infinity and it'll fry your brain. That's how it works. So, bingo bongo, here we are. You will lead us astray. Fantastic. I mean, it's not exactly like we were on the... I was going to say we weren't on the straight and narrow. We have just been going north consistently for... sort of like 6 or 7 crossroads. By the way, I'm going to attempt to make crossroads in this game identifiable, because there are a lot of them. I've mapped out the majority of the game at this point, so that I know where to go and where not, if you want to, backtrack south or whatever and things like that. And there's a lot of intersections, so I'm going to try and put something interesting at each intersection so that we know if you want to go back to it, you can. And you can easily identify it. So anyway, yes, we have... This has been our path so far through the forest. We started at Yastromo's Tower. We went north by default. And we're trying to go north in general to get to Stonebridge. This is the little village of dwarves. They're in a bit of turmoil at the moment because they've lost their hammer. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a hammer. With, if I remember correctly... bronze head and an ebony handle, both of which have a G carved into them. I can't remember why it's a G. I'm sure somebody can remember, maybe. All of the VODs are archived, so if you want to go back and find information, that'll be great. Even if we get there, we still need the hammer. Yes, and that is why we can backtrack. I've allowed you the possibility of going back to any of the previous crossroads that we've been to before, that you decided to go left and you could have gone right, etc, etc. Such is the nature of this game. There really is only one way to win it, because there are only 2 places you can find the hammer bits. So keep north past the village, and then right back round again to Yastromo's Tower, eventually. You're Sleepy. Hello, Sleepy. How you doing? So, yeah, the road so far. What did we do? We got some... Oh, hello, that's the wrong thing. We went to Yastromo's Tower. We got some bits and bobs. Hang on, let me look at our overlay to tell you exactly what we've got. We have a sword, naturally, a potion of anti-poison, boots of leaping, rod of water finding, holy water, a rope of climbing, potion of luck, the squirrel helmet of bitchin' stats, and a blood eel, which, if you can get to a fire, I will allow you to turn into a provision or 2. Around the world in 80 streams. It might take that long. Who knows? All of these things are experiments. I really have no idea how these are going to go, but hopefully they're fun at least on the way. Should I use the rods of water finding at the river? There's already water. I don't know exactly what use it's going to be. I still don't know what they do, so I can't really improvise. So yeah, we went past the evil woman's house, and ran away just before some weird smoke thing happened. We found a helmet in a tree by making a squirrel angry. We sent a tree man and a little bonsai friend on their way somewhere. Presumably to do bad, but not to do bad to us, so we're fine. We angered a barbarian for some reason, and got bitten by an eel. And that's been our adventure so far. We're currently resting under a tree. I don't know if you can make this out. There's a head there, and there's a recorder, and some body and legs and stuff. So yeah, we just sort of took a rest under the tree, because it's getting a bit late. That's not the right colour, is it? Sure I can get a better brown here. Yeah, just nick it. Nick it from the map, it should be fine. So yeah, we just had a little rest under the tree. I need to get stuff ready because I'm... What have we got? 131. We're at 131. Cool. Yep, we dragged ourselves out of the water on the far bank of the river. And we decided to make a camp under a large solitary tree, because if you remember correctly, we're in this sort of field of grass in the middle of the forest that's got trees all around it, and yeah, there's a big sort of copse, as it were, in between. Yeah, and we settled down to sleep. So that's nice. What if the water was full of teeth? What? To be fair, in this book, there's half a chance you would have slipped on the stones and cracked your head open and just died instantly. I think this book is actually pretty good for instant deaths. I think I've only found 2, and we've already gone past 1. Which was if you decided to attack the wizard right at the start of the book. But we are in the Forest of Doom. That is a thing. Right. So let's go. So that's the map, which I'm trying to keep track of as we go through, slowly but surely. So we have 5 options that we have forsaken thus far, but we can always go back and do it whenever you so desire. This is the fight, the legendary eel fight. You decide to make camp, and the ground falls immediately beneath you. You fall into a bear trap, -5 stamina. So yeah. What was the page I was going to? 315, something like that. 325. 325. So, we better probably get our first vote up and running. For those of you who may or may not be aware, if this playthrough is run by you, you control what happens at each instance. You vote by typing !vote followed by a space followed by whatever your vote is. You can change it at any time by just doing that again. Yes, there is a vote currently going on at the moment because of the way the whoop system works. So yeah, let me set things up. Right. Love every chat in us. What? What, every conversation that we are capable of having? It's an interesting idea. Okay, so let's just start ourselves off by drawing a nice little pal under a tree, shall we? Just a simple little drawing. Pal having a snooze. That's how I draw a tree. It's just a nuclear power station cooling vent plus a twig on the side of it. Still wearing the helmet. Got to remember to draw the helmet. The squirrel helmet of bitchin' stats. Is the music very quiet? Probably. It's going to be variable. Do tell me if the music gets too loud or too quiet or what have you. So yeah, this is the first time I've drawn Pal since the last time we did stuff. And I really wanted to draw a picture of him being chased through the long grass by a barbarian, but here we are. I haven't had time. Them, sorry, did I say him? I meant them. You have a sheepskin blanket, which conveniently makes this quite easy to draw. I haven't drawn that much today, so forgive me for my slight roughness. We have the faithful recorder just resting there. On top, and probably a sword in the ground or something. Didn't really design a sword, I just kind of gave you a sword. Something that was easy to draw. Right, so. Pal hiding from the screaming barbarian was pretty funny, yes. I just wanted to sort of turn around and say, can't we just talk this out? I want to be friends, I helped you. Sorry, I just looked at the vote. I haven't looked at it for a while. Follow Just Miss on Twitter at JustMissArt. That is a good idea. I just did that about 10 minutes ago. Do a barrel roll. Do a backflip. You're all okay, I guess. Shut the fuck up, Triforce, with your support and friendship. Interesting. Oh, we have 2 votes for follow Just Miss on Twitter at JustMissArt, so that's winning so far. Yeah, sorry, I tend to be rather cautious over the people I follow, not necessarily for any sort of privacy reasons or anything like that, just because I don't like my timeline being cluttered. So you're much more likely to get a follow from me just if you don't post as much, which seems unfair, but yeah, Miss doesn't seem to post much, and they've got weekly pictures so that I don't forget them because they're very good. I'm not going to forget them, but forget to retweet them on Twitter. So yeah, what do we do? I don't hate you, it's just, I like a clean timeline. Yeah, stuff. Anyway, 3 votes in. Guess you got too much to share. No, you do you. It's just, I also do me. Pretty straightforward, really. So yeah. Now, let me actually sort of read the thing here. So anyway, we might as well carry on with the story. Pal has been asleep for about an hour when the soft noise of fluttering wings wakes them up. They sit up, grab their sword, and in the light of the full moon they see 3 large shapes flying towards them. They look like large bats. In fact, they are vampire bats. What do you want to do? You're being attacked by bats. You haven't even had any sleep. Will that work? Vampire bats! Yes, immediately. Action, straight away. Okay, slightly smarter looking vampire there. Vampire bats. Righto, that's my interpretation of a bat. How are we all doing? Ooh. Oh, you guys are clever. So this is why I encouraged improvisation. Let me just sort of read a couple of pages so that I can improvise our way out of this. Okie dokie. Okay, cool. Right. You think he's flying, but he has a cape. Yeah, he's got a... Yeah, this is supposed to be a sort of capey sort of thing. It's difficult to... Probably better if I do it like that, really, isn't it? Yeah, I thought I'd go with a more sort of Dracula-y thing. The mouth is here. Then there's a moustache, a little beardy thing. Looks like it's holding a carrot. What? Yeah, that's just a head. It's just a head with a... The transformation didn't go exactly to plan. That's what I'm saying. Right, so it seems pretty unequivocal that you wish to throw the blood eel, which I think is a pretty good idea, because just as a heads up, you're not really supposed to have this eel in the book. You convinced me to take it along with you, and now it's come in useful immediately. It's wonderful. So anyway, yes, quick thinking. Pal manages to realise that these things are vampire bats, no ordinary bats, flocking around him. Pal reaches immediately into the bag to try and pull out a recorder or something, and just ends up with a sort of fistful of bloody eel, and just immediately makes the connection and goes, hang on, this is probably a good idea for them. Throws it across into the bushes, a long way into the forest behind, and then sprints off north in the other direction, trying to avoid them as much as physically possible. They seem perfectly happy with this deal. Lots of blood, everything's grand, including some of Pal's, so, you know, they kind of got what they wanted. Yeah, Pal runs off north, in search of places where there aren't vampire bats fluttering around his head. Their head. I'll get there. So yeah, you threw... I think, yeah, you only threw one part, so you can keep half of it. I'm not going to change the sprite, but just know whether it's half of an eel rather than a full one. Him, her, they, them, it. It's tricky. Sorry. 27 years of defaulting to him. Not great. Who's glaring at Crow? What? Who do what and who? Anyway, we're all learning, indeed. We'll get there. So yeah, what were the other options? We also have throw Pokeball, which we don't have. Smooch the bats, which is probably a poor idea. Use a recorder as a bat. May have worked slightly. Probably would have been better to use the sword, but whatever. And glares at Crow, which is just a general good... yeah. Try as glaring? Fair enough. Vote vomits after touching mess of bloody eel. Not great. So yeah, that was a pretty good start, I think. I literally was trying to work out what you would do in this situation, given that there were basically only two options in the book, and I'm very pleased that you came up with this. So, because it makes sense. Hurrah! So yeah, the bats are perfectly happy. It's supposed to be kind of bushy thing. Through the half with the head, because of the two that you'd like to eat, it's probably best not to have the one with teeth. So yeah, just throw it off into the distance, and the bat's perfectly happy to go and chase that. Makes it a little bit more dangerous if you want to come back through here, but they seem distracted, at least for the moment. But they might be here if you come back, so do be careful about that. Was it Ragdoll who came up with the idea? Marvellous. Hurrah. Well done, Ragdoll, for being very smart. Indeed. This looks like this all happened while Pal was still asleep, but I can't be bothered to draw them awake and throwing things. We already have a picture, a very good picture of Pal throwing things. There we are. Just imagine that, but with an eel. Okay, cool. So, we continue on north, because that's just the way things go. Right. So, Pal runs away as fast as physically possible to try and get away from the scent of the vampire bats, although they probably are quite distracted for some time. There's a lot of blood in a blood eel, funnily enough. And they're running uphill, which is a little bit tiring, because as they're working their way through the field, it starts to go higher and higher up, wending their way to the hill, wending their way into some large hills. I can't speak today. Hills. That's the word I'm looking for. By the time they reach the top, the sun is quite hot, which is surprising given that you just went to sleep and only had an hour's sleep, but there we are. All around in the distance, they see the green circle of the forest around them. So we're in this kind of bit in the middle. Arguably, there's probably good evidence to show that we're about halfway through. Mist is still hanging in the tall grass behind them, but as ahead they see the valley floor bathed in sunlight. All is quiet. As they start down to the far side of the hill, they see a junction in the path. What a shock. You can either go north or west. Choices, choices, choices. Update the vote. North or west? While we're here, I will update the map. So we've just gone through some hills. Gone over some hills. These are hills. And here there'd be bats. It doesn't sound like there's any background music going on at all at the moment. What's happening? Oh no, some more's just started, I think. No? What is there? It's just very quiet. What is with the audio mixing in these things? Hang on, I'll skip ahead. Okay, that's a bit better. Right, what have we got? Oh yeah, I need to draw in the junction. So you can either carry on further down the hill north, or you can work your way west, which is this way. Yes. Always, you need to correct me on these things. It was west, wasn't it? Yes. We have 4 for north, 1 for north as fuck, 1 for to the west, and 1 for west. I think that's north. So once again, we continue. Never eat soggy waffles. That's I think possibly the hardest I've ever laughed, and this is not going to make an awful lot of sense out of context. But Bill Bailey had a routine where he'd go with the never eat shredded wheat thing. But then he added in the bits in between, like northeast. So it's never eat, shredded wheat, never wheat. And then if you add the ones in between, it's never eat, never eat, never eat, and then just carries on like that. It just got so absurd. I loved it. So yeah, don't know why that's open. The music is very quiet. It just got a little bit louder actually in my ears. Dynamics are tricky, so, but I will amp it up ever so slightly. If it gets too loud, I'll put it back down. It's infinitely changeable. So yeah, so we're going north, it seems. Ever north. Oh, hello. We would be going north if Photoshop would cooperate. Yeah, look at me go north. Right, let's have a look. Let me just write down. Oh yeah, let's say we want some sort of signifier at this particular junction. So what's going to be here to remind us of what this junction is? Do you have a thing? Just a thing lying around on the floor? A circle, something a little more specific than a circle. Or a crop circle, could be a crop circle, because there's like big fields of grass. Very tall grasses. An alchemy circle? Could be that. Okay, let's put an alchemy circle. What does an alchemy circle look like? There's like sort of circles around the outside. triangles or something. I'm drawing the Coheed and Cambria logo here. Sure, why not? So there's... As Pal is debating whether or not to go north or west, they see this strange circle in the charred into the grass beneath their feet. It seems unmagical, unresponsive at this particular time, but it's there. So yeah, it's a little bit of a burn. Nothing too remarkable. No one's around. It's probably been there for quite a long time. Colonel Mustang Daddy. I miss things. So anyway, we travel north. I need to write down page numbers because I'm like that. I do actually have my comprehensive map, but get pop cultured? Never. I shall only exist in a sphere of ever so slightly niche things. So yeah. So we're going north. We continue down the hill, north. Because we were at the top of the hill, and now we're going down. That's how it works. Right, so we, Pal... The path runs north down the hill, between large boulders and rocks. So it's starting to get a bit of a craggy surface around. Pal has a little bit of an uneasy feeling. Because any number of things can be hiding behind rocks, and they feel like they might be being watched. Before they have any chance to respond, behind one of the larger boulders to the left of the path spring two sinewy men with long hair and beards. Who I'm going to have to draw at some point. They're wearing animal furs and they look menacing. One of them notches an arrow to their bow and lets it fly. Test your luck. Roll under your luck. With 2d6. Off you go. Sinewy men. So sinewy, i.e. akin to sinew. And men, as in male humans, presumably. So there's an arrow flying towards you. Test your luck. Roll 2d6. Let's draw two sinewy men, one with a bow. Colonel Mustang is a character from Full Metal Alchemist. He makes fire by snapping his fingers, and because of alchemy, looks kind of like his fire alchemy circle. Oh, okay. I just drew something that looked like the Coheed and Cambria logo, which I think is like... So the three big circles, and then a circle in the middle, three on the outside, and then a triangle in the middle, like that. But anyway. What do we get? 7, which is not under our luck. That's a bit of an issue. So... Powell does not respond quickly enough because they're a little bit exhausted having run uphill away from some vampire bats, and gets struck directly in the shoulder by the arrow. Just lodges itself right in there. And we lose 3 stamina points, as well as a luck, because we had to test our luck, because that's how it works. We are still alive, so we continue. I will draw this, don't worry. Because I'm going to give you some decisions in a second, which you're going to have to think about. Right. Does the shops work with these rolls? No, only combat. Doesn't work with luck, alas. Right, so having seen that the arrow is lodged in Pal's shoulder, the men begin jumping up and down with their arms in the air in fits of glee as they see Pal struggling to pull the arrow out. Pal grits their teeth and tugs on the arrow before it finally comes free. The men are both just laughing uncontrollably. They seem to have forgotten that you're actually there. They are, by the looks of it, wild hillmen. What do you want to do now? They're just laughing. They're seemingly not posing an additional threat. They're just laughing. Always put details on the face of your character before posing out the rest of the body. Oh yeah, I've got to get rid of the thing, haven't I? Sorry. Refresh. Sorry. Start. Vote again. Once more. Like this. So, full disclosure, there is actually an illustration of these people in the book. However, the illustration does actually look copied and pasted. They both look somewhat identical, so I'm going to put a bit more effort into it. Not much more, but a bit more. They're sinewy, that means they're quite thin. Probably not a very straight bow. So anyway, how's everybody's Wednesday going, and or Thursday morning, depending on your time zones? Yeah, when I said I put in more effort, did I mention I haven't done much drawing today? What would it what? I say that every stream. I'm doing great. I want to. Don't want to get complacent. Also want to remember roughly how to draw anatomy. That'd be fantastic. It's a very primitive arrow. It's not particularly... It's just kind of sharpened bit of wood with a feather on the end. Sort of loosely attached, and a loosely strung bow. And I am going to take some advice from the masters of art, as we all should. And I'm going to have the other one popping up from behind a rock. Right, so let's sort out stats before we continue. We've lost a luck point. We've lost 3 stamina. We are very good on stamina in general. Like we rolled quite high for that, so that's the thing. We get an arrow if you want to keep that. So let's refresh that. There we are. Right. So yeah. Just before I stop. How does perspective work? Does anybody remember? I'm pretty sure it's a thing. I'm sure I've seen people use it before. So, this is very entertaining, I'm sure. I don't know why they're picking on a small defenseless goblin. Look at that, that's the cleanest drawing I've ever done. Alright, I'm missing a lot of things. What's a perspective? Who knows? Who even knows? What have we got? What are the votes? We have leave caveman first, then tend to wounds. Angry dooting. Interesting. Call them fox and tuck behind a large boulder, or hide behind the nearest rock. We've pretty much got 2 votes for everything. 2 for leave them alone. 1 for play the recorder angrily at them. And 2 for just hide. So we might need additional votes or from people to change their minds. I think this is the first time we've had a tie, and it's a 3-way tie, which is quite surprising. Honestly, I spend this long drawing things, and you still haven't made up your minds. Honestly. What am I looking at? I'm just going to look forwards and see what is involved in the various options. Got that, got that. Okie doke then. So yeah, just to reiterate, they've shot you in the, or they shot Pal in the shoulder. They subsequently have just fell about the floor laughing. Seemingly not willing to chase you up or anything. What are the options now? We have leave caveman first, tend to the wounds 2, angry dooting 2, do a murder 1, call them fucked up behind a boulder 1, hide behind nearest rock 1, leave the caveman first then tend to wounds 1, which is basically the same as the top one, leave caveman first then tend to wounds. You haven't voted, then vote. So it seems like we've got 4 votes for leaving cavemen and tending to wounds. Glad you wanged it and made a new option. Backflip. There's also the option to backflip now. Okay, so they're just rolling about laughing on the floor. They find this whole thing hilarious for some reason. Pal sort of skitters off to one side, to the right-hand side of the path, hides behind a boulder, and then begins tending to the wounds. Do you wish to eat a provision? Is that what you mean by tending to wounds? Pal looks at the wound, sort of makes sure that it's not anything serious, it's not bleeding profusely too badly, sort of bandages it up with various bits of cloth, as well as you can, a shoulder anyway. There doesn't seem to be anything suspicious about the wound. It doesn't look poisonous. It doesn't look enchanted in any way. It's just there was a bit of wood in it a couple of seconds ago. So yeah, each bread gives 4. Yes, you get 4 stamina per piece of bread. So yeah, you don't have to vote. Just tell me whether or not you want to, because otherwise we're going to be here for ages. Because my system is not quick. Sure, let's eat some bread. Wang? What? Stop wanging my vote system. This isn't number wang. Can eat 1 bread? Remember, if we find a fire, you can turn what's left of the eel into another provision, so we kind of have one in stock. This game has a very interesting way of dealing with provisions. Which, yeah. Eat 1 wang. We're not going to eat a... What? If you want to call it wang bread, you can, but I'm just going to call it bread. You think we're fine? So we have a couple of votes for eating bread. Okay, see if I can ruin your fun. There we are. To bread or not to bread? It's your choice. We have 10 provisions, as is evidenced on the thing. 16 gold, 10 provisions. Over here somewhere, just around here. Over there. I can't move too far over because my mouse cursor will go under it. But, carve bread into a wang, then eat it. You can do that if you so desire. It might take a bit of time, but time is not something we are in scarcity of. Consult skull. What skull in particular? Do we have a skull? We threw the head of the eel away, so we don't have that skull. Well, I'm glad this vote has been decisive. Carve bread into wang, not to bread, wang bread, consult skull. Sorry you forgot voting, you were distracted by sketching. That's fine, you don't have to participate if you don't want to. You think Shakespeare joke? What? Oh, Yorick? Kind of thing? Oh, to be on... Oh, right, yeah. That makes sense. I forgot about that. It's just a format of question, I suppose. Such is the way of Shakespeare. His work has turned into cliché. The more and more it has been recited and repeated. So, again with decision. Does wang bread count as eat or not? Or is it just a noun? I'll tell you what, I'll take this out of your hands. Yes, eat the bread. Okay, we're going to eat the bread. We'll just eat the bread. We're fine. We just recover stamina. Cool. So we recover some stamina. We do some provision. Pal spends a little bit of time tending to their wounds, and eventually it's all good. It luckily hasn't affected their ability to wield a sword or a recorder. Hasn't affected the dexterity in any way. It's missed all of the nerves and tendons and all that sort of stuff. It was just quite annoying. So yeah. I was literally just about to roll a dice and see whether or not we roll a D2 and see whether or not you eat bread. Eat the sodding loaf. So yeah, Shakespeare meme king, and well, I need to find a better way of doing this rather than having to refresh the overlay every single time. But yeah, Pal pops their head from behind the boulder and sees the hillmen still there, just sort of mumbling to one another and sort of making weird gestures. They don't really seem to care that you're still there. Do you wish to carry on across the path, or do you want to interact with them in some way? My questions are going to get vaguer and vaguer. So we can continue north, or we can go back to previous junctions, etc., etc. So hang on, let me just update the map while we're here. Always trying to make use of voting time. So there's hillmen. This is my hillman with a bow. A tentative doot, angry dooting. Oh, lots of dooting. Oh, hang on. I have to allow that before the vote goes through. So, there it is. That's interesting. When AutoMod catches that, it doesn't get registered by my bot. Cool. So what have we got? We have 2 tentative doots, 1 angry doot, 1 more north, 1 for prank the suckers, 1 for do not interact, continue moving, and 1 for fuck off to the north, fuck those guys in particular. So I think that's 3 votes for north, and 3 for dooting, but one of them's angry and one of them's tentative. So gotta be specific in these things. So I think we're just gonna carry on north. The hillmen just sort of continue, sort of sitting on the boulder, making gestures at one another, and you carry on north, and they don't really seem to want to follow you or do anything. They're just there. Can we do it while we walk? We absolutely can. If we're going to go far more north, we're going to be attacked by polar bears at one point. Do you think polar bears are before or after dwarves? That's a question. One does not simply doot and walk. Look, Pal's been doing this for a long time. So yeah, Pal just continues north. Slightly less merrily, but nonetheless. You know, it's clear the hillmen didn't really know how to communicate, and they just sort of have a weird sense of humour of wanting to attack things and laughing. They just carry on. It's unfortunate, but like I said, no lasting damage, so Pal can get over it, I think. Did you Game of Thrones right? I had no idea. Right, so... Let me guess, it's a crossroads. Ah, what a shock. So, walking down the hill even further, past the field of boulders, Pal sees the valley floor stretching out ahead, and beyond that, a sinister wall of trees. You're back in Darkwood. On the other side of the trees lies Stonebridge, the journey's end. You're getting near the end. Arriving on the valley floor, they see that the path comes to a junction. Would you like to head west, or would you like to head east? So you can't head forwards into the forest, but you can work your way around, either east or west. No more north! Let me just consult my overall map to make sure I'm going to do things in a roughly good shape. That's that, so we're... okay. Yep, I know where we are. Good, good, good. This is actually good, because there are some points in this game where you... it's sort of difficult to explain. If you approach the same area from the east travelling west, you get different events than from the west travelling east. So hopefully I can sort of help sort that out. What's at this intersection as well? It should be something nice. So we're sort of approaching the, you can see the boundary of the wood further on, but we're not there yet. We're down on the plateau. The hills have ended, and we are now on flat land, back to grass. And daffodil? We can do a daffodil. This is the daffodil intersection. There's lots of daffodils around. What do daffodils look like? Sort of kind of sharpy. No, that looks like a pinwheel. I should know what daffodils look like. They're my mum's favourite flower, so... And I drew one at the beginning of this adventure. As Pal is pondering which direction to go, they are reminded of poor Big Leg, who unfortunately fell and started this adventure. Pal reminds themselves that is actually why they're doing this quest, is to honour poor Big Leg, who had the best of intentions, but was laid to rest with a daffodil upon the grave. This is 1, 8, 8. Just so I know. Right, let's have a look at the results. How we doing? We have 2 for west, 2 for east, 1 for west, and 1 for east like a beast. That sounds like east to me. East is this way, yeah? So we're going that way, so let's dot this off as a question mark. We're heading east as a beast. Let me just have a quick look to see what roughly is east. Okay. Cool. Nice. So, we travel east. You travel east along the plateau floor betwixt the hills and the forest. To the left of the path, you see a small stone well with a bucket and a turning handle. Would you like to take a look at the well, or would you like to carry on travelling east? And if you do want to look at the well, what do you want to do with it? You can be specific, otherwise we'll be here forever. What page is this? It's quite a simple one, isn't it? 359. 359. So yeah, just a reminder of information that's very easy to forget as the episodes or the streams move along. You were told by Nostromo, who inexplicably happened to know this, that the hammer you're looking for was split into 2 pieces and by 2 goblins. So presumably you're on the lookout for goblins. Don't think we found any yet. Apart from Pal, obviously. I don't really know how these systems of cracks in wells work, but here we are. There's a well. What do we got? Turn the... things changed. Channel Inner Snow White and sing into the bitch. Okay. Curious doots. We can do dancing, that's fine. Get water, pee in the well, look in the well, throw a coin, make a wish, or investigate the well. People definitely seem to want to do something with the well. The wells aren't too tricky. They're sort of cylinders with stuff on top. Did do it a bit too wide, though. Okay, so let me read ahead so that I can actually interpret what's going to happen. I think I already know what's going to happen, but should be fine. So Pal tentatively approaches the well. dooting in the way. Just giggled so loudly at that. Who? What? Oobs did a vote. Did Oobs do a vote? Well, Oobs did a good vote. Let me just draw this. So Pal approaches the well. Happily dooting as they do. As they doot, rather. I know how recorders work. Do you know, all the musical instruments I do have, I don't have a recorder. I was just thinking of actually writing like a song for recorder so that we can have it as like Pal's theme tune or whatever, but I don't actually have a recorder. I have a flute, but I don't think that'll do. It won't doot. It won't doot. Is the truth going to come out of the well to shame mankind? Truth? I presume more references I do not understand before because I am a fool. Seems about right. Good thing for baggy coats. Saves me a bit of time. A bit of bother trying to get anatomy correct. I don't think that's how wrinkles work, but sure, whatever. I don't know why I'm spending quite so much time on this. I like drawing Pal. Pal's cool. We're going to be here forever if I don't move on. So, Pal goes to the well. Playing nice music. The music begins to echo as Pal gets closer. Pal realizes that there is a bit of a gap between the top of the well and the water below. It's relatively far down. And indeed, between the top and the bottom are a couple of things of interest. The first is a small tunnel leading from one side of the well down into the ground to the north, and a ladder that leads down to the tunnel. What do you want to do with that tunnel? Or the ladder? Or nothing? You can carry on. Links to things. Truth coming out of links. Here's the other arm because I almost forgot. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Lots of pockets. Lots of pockets. Almost forgot those two. Oh. People having fun on their motorbikes outside. It's nice. This music is horrendously inconsistent in volume. I should just set up a compressor or something for the background music. Make it a lot easier. I forgot to reset the vote, didn't I? Anybody who voted for the previous, a lot of people have already voted, it seems. So. Yes, sorry. There is a small tunnel inside the well, and a ladder leading down to it. The tunnel appears to be slightly smaller than you are tall, so it's a little bit cramped. But you reckon you could probably fit in there? So what have we got? We have Tunnel Hoe. We have Curious Doots, which is from the previous one. Go into Well Tunnel. About Face and Doot off into the distance. Looking Wells from the previous one. Secret Tunnel, into the well, Secret Tunnel. Or is that Tunnel? We've had a run in with eels. Throw a coin, make a wish. I think that was from the previous one. But it still stands as an option. You could do that from the tunnel. And what are our other options? Your other options are whatever you want. Do you want to go back to the path? Back to the crossroads you went to before? Do you want to carry on heading east? You're at a well. You can do what you like. There's a bucket in the well. You've seen House of 1,000 Corpses. That's a big nope on well tunnels. Oh, I wasn't aware it was a thing. Oh, music's gotten a bit loud again. But it's soft loud. Rather than a hard loud. Vote die in tunnel. That's, I mean, who knows? Dr. Satan is there. Wow, Satan has a doctorate. Did they buy it online or did they get it properly? I like the idea of Satan having student loans. Die in tunnel is now at the top of the list. I don't know why. I can't remember what my sorting system is for this, but right, it generally seems that people want to go down into the tunnel. So, let's go down into the tunnel. I know this tunnel well. Descend the ladder to look down into the tunnel. Right. Oh, fantastic. Cool. So, Pal begins to descend down into the ladder, or down into the well via the ladder. It's an old ladder. It's a bit slippery, obviously. It's inside a well. And so Pal's trying to make sure there's a sort of solid footing as they're going down, but don't seem to realise that one of the rungs isn't actually there. And goes to put their foot onto it, and just... there's nothing there. Test your luck. Roll 2d6. If you want to, or you can just fall off. You can choose to fall off. You like getting those 7s, don't you? I mean, to be fair, that is the most common possible answer. I won't take your luck away from that one, but you fail anyway. And you fail, so you fall, and you fall down into the well. It's not a big drop, but it's a drop nonetheless, and you fall into the water. Now this might be the thing I was mentioning before. Aha. Okay, let me just augment 2 passages together because reasons. Give me a sec. Okay, cool, that's fine. So, Pal loses their footing, loses the grip on the ladder, and falls down into the water, banging their head onto the side of the well as they go, because they sort of fall backwards. Fortunately, you are wearing a helmet, so there's no particular injury caused. You just fall into the water, and it's all very unpleasant. You also don't have anything that particularly dissolves in water, so you're fine. Just a bit of bad luck. You scramble out of the water, a little bit heavier, a little bit wetter, but nonetheless at your destination, wishing that you could have got there by ladder instead. So yeah, you get into the tunnel. What did you miss? We fell off the ladder, but we're wearing a helmet, so it's fine. We banged our head a bit, so there's a bit of a dent in the helmet now. Thank God for shobs, indeed. Yes. Pretends he didn't cock up the dice roll. What? Oh no, it's fine. What ladder? Oh, there's a ladder in the well that leads down to a secret passage, or well, a tunnel, a small tunnel. They decided to investigate the ladder. We fell off the ladder, etc. Sorry, I didn't know how much you've missed. Have you? No, you haven't just been here. So yeah, it probably is at some capacity. You know, falling off the ladder is probably informed by the fact that you did just get shot. But yeah, is it getting shot? Getting loosed? I don't know. Loosed at. We're apparently investigating the Tunnel of Death. We weren't in the well. Have you watched? Yeah, we did go in the well, and Emily has warned us of the horrors of the wells. But right, so you enter the tunnel. You need to dip down ever so slightly because it's slightly shorter than you are tall, and you work your way through. And as you begin to go through into the tunnel, you see that it's lit by torches at regular intervals. This place is inhabited in some respect. Hang on, let me just augment more things together because this game is peculiarly written. Okay, so let me let me try and keep track of pages here. Okay. Right. As you crawl into the tunnel, you find yourself realizing that the tunnel splits off into various directions. There is south, which is the way you came, so you can leave if you so desire. You can go left or you can go right. There's no up, unfortunately. It's not my fault. It's not a crossroads. It's an intersection in the tunnel. Oh, up as in leave. You can leave. That is an option. There's an option to leave. So yeah, there are torches in the walls. I don't know what page we're on. We're technically on 2 pages because this game is strange. Terrible fire, look at that. Bloody awful. Hang on, how do hands work? It would be there, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think that makes sense. There's a bit of twisting involved in the limb, but it should probably actually be a bit higher in order to make slight physical sense. So it should be sort of up like that and then sort of back that way. Depending on how large the tunnel system is in this cave, I might get a lot of use out of this particular screen. Or I might not. Who knows? Right, you get the idea. Take a torch? That might be an idea. Pal's stuck in a bubble. It's supposed to be like a kind of... This is a cross-section, so there's like some worms there and... sort of... Okay, as though this has been sort of assembled out of rocks. There's usually a skull in one of these. No treasure chest for some reason. Rightio, so we have as our options left and take torches. So we grab a torch and we go left. We have 1 arrow and half a Neil so far. Yes, I do need to update those at the end of the stream, so do remind me. And now a torch. Yes, we are carrying a torch. Which makes sense when you think about it. Right, so we go left, which is that way. Because I suddenly decided to change it to left and right, and now I need to remember which one's left and which one's right. I try, guys. I try. Somehow you do this. Somehow you do this. You travel left along the junction in the tunnel, and soon enough you come to another one, left or right. You're just so good at finding the intersections. Oh dear. So hang on, let me just keep track of where we are inside the well. So we have the well. We went down, travel north. Then we went left. There is a right path. This is the little mini map. Went left. Now there's another intersection. Are we going to go left or right here? So left would be south, right would be north. What do we got? We have 4 for right, just to make a change, I presume. 1 for left and 1 for right into the waiting more of our untimely death. Marvellous. If this just ends in a well, what? Oh, ends with us in a well, you're going full Julia on the next drawing. By all means. Don't encourage us. A parallel in the hamster tunnel system. It's, yeah, pretty much. Right, so it seems like we want to go right. The only vote for left is now changed to right by the looks of it. So we head right. As Pal is working their way through the slightly confusing system, is there going to be a more? You can get into that? Fair enough. And yes, as Pal works their way through this slightly damp system, torch in hand, ahead you begin to hear very high-pitched voices frantically calling to one another. The tunnel ends in a small cave entrance. The voices cease momentarily, and before you have a chance to really work out where the voices were coming from, an arrow flies towards you. Roll 2d6. If you're experiencing deja vu... Oh, look, 7. You are unlucky. It lodges into the other shoulder. You guys are arrows. Honestly. Oh dear. You haven't actually just sort of really antagonized anything. It's just people firing arrows at you while you're going about your business. We do have 2 arrows now. Yes, that's fine. I won't take that away, the luck there. Hang on, let me just very quickly check the rules. Yeah, so I feel like it probably makes more sense to only lose luck if you're successful. I think that makes sense. If you're unlucky, you shouldn't lose luck. That doesn't make any sense. You was an adventurer until you took an arrow to the shoulder and then another arrow to the shoulder. Yeah. So I'll leave you on 5 for the moment. If something particularly bad does happen to you and it just turns out you're a particularly unlucky person, then yeah, fair enough. But in this particular instance, I think, yeah, your bad luck has been manifest in other ways rather than just taking things away from stats. So, yes. So, you know that provision you ate? Yeah. That's exactly how much you lose. So you lose 4 stamina. We are still alive, which is nice. Bingo bongo. Back down to 16. What a waste of a loaf of bread. Where are we? We are here. Pal pulls the arrow from the shoulder. Again, noticing in the dim light this time, it's difficult to tell, but the arrow doesn't seem to be particularly remarkable. Again, it's just a very rudimentary thing. 4, I know, this one's slightly stronger. Evidently the things that are living here have good eyesight in the dark. Still no lasting damage to your ability to actually do anything, it's just painful. Yes. Do you want to carry on? Or do you want to go back? Let's start the vote. Yep, so here there be arrows. Doesn't look like an arrow at all. Presumably a bow as well. Somewhere. I can guess who wrote the top one. Yep. Look, Pal may not be the wisest of characters. Don't know how many there are. I mean, presumably at least 2, given that there were voices talking to one another. Very high-pitched voices. Look, this is the risk we run by allowing you guys to choose exactly what happens at every given time, every given point in time. If you wish to leave, if you wish to retreat, do tell me where. Whether you want to go to the, whether you want to go left at the second intersection, whether you want to go right at the first intersection, or whether you just want to leave the well altogether. I did mark the page, didn't I? Yes, I did. Hello, Plamps. How you doing? We're in a well, and we just got shot with another arrow in the other shoulder. Because we're good like that. So let me just hang on. I can do things. I should have probably given you a bonus for having the torch so that you can actually see things coming, but unfortunately that's in the past now. Can we get shoulder armor? It seems like we need it, yeah. From the same dudes? Nope. We are now in a well. We are facing completely different people. We just got shot with another arrow in the shoulder. It's a thing that happens. Retcon? Nah, it's fine. It's all right. He says less of Pal to draw now next week. Also, yeah, this is now bent. You bent your helmet. You fools. Right, what are we doing? We are shouting out to whoever shot us. We hide, charge ahead, murder, retreat, or you fucks. Does that count as calling out? Probably not. That's probably calling out the chat. So we do appear to have 2 for get away, and 1 for go in, or 2 for go in, it seems. But there's also call out, which is on its own, which could retreat and call out. I don't know. I think we need to be slightly more decisive here. Oh, call out. Okay, 2 for call out. Vote yeet. We have a yeet. Yeah, I don't know what you want to yeet. Do you want to yeet the torch? Seems like a poor idea. But who am I to judge? I'm the person who's drawing everything. That's who I am. I haven't marked the well on the map yet, so let's do that. So we were going this way, and we found a well. A lovely little well. Well, well, well. W-A-L-L spells well in my book. What book's that? Spelling for Beginners. That's an obscure reference. Well. I did do that on the right layer, I think. Good. Right. What are we back on doing things? What? Call out, charge ahead, murder, retreat, or you fucks or yeet. Not sure. M-O-O-N, that spells well. Eat, and you're doing great. No, sorry, your brother showed up randomly a little while ago? Oh, cool. What did you miss? We're in a well, and we got shot again. in the other shoulder. Yeah, we went down into a well, there was a tunnel. We fell off the ladder, but our helmet helped us there. And yeah, we went into the tunnel and got shot. So, we now have 2 arrows. We're never going to find a bow, but we have 2 arrows, so you can do what you want with them. Want to throw the arrow back? It seems call out seems to be the option. So let me just read ahead to make sure I know what will come of calling out. Okay. So that doesn't make any sense at all. Right, so you call out, and the high-pitched voices get quiet again. Get very quiet. Your eyes begin to adjust to the darkness, with the help of a torch. It's always a good way to adjust the darkness. We could take a bow from killing these fucks. That is true. They must be able to fire the bow somehow. Fire the bow? Fire the arrow. I know how these things work. So you call out, say, hello, do you mind not shooting me? That'll be great. And the voices stop. You hear some slight moving around and scuffling. Pal by now has probably cottoned on that that's not a great sound, and manages to dodge out the way of a second arrow that is fired in their direction. 1 out of 3 ain't bad. Do you wish to seek your aggressors, or do you wish to get away just in case there are even more arrows coming? So I let you dodge this one, it's fine. Take that arrow. I got another arrow. So yeah, unfortunately calling out didn't do anything. Call again, dodge, take that out. I think they'll eventually cotton on. And you might eventually get unlucky and have... I mean, there's only so many shoulders you have. It might actually move to an elbow. But, look, do you want me to get creative in trying to work out ways that you can't do that? Because it might hurt. And we'd never play the piano again. I'm not sure Pal has ever seen a piano, but here we are. Also, I drew the cave very big, which is not my intention. Oh, no, it did open up into a cave, didn't it? Yes. Yes, of course. What have we got so far? We have charge him with the sword and cut hands off. I presume theirs. Get away, get away, get it away now. Murder, murder, murder. Doot in aggressive. Did one of those change? Oh no, it's something different, don't worry. Retreat to last crossroad or steal all arrows. Can we see the well map? Yes, you can. Hang on. 1 secondo. Let me go back here. Ooh, hello. I know what I'm doing. It's fine. Here's the well map. Da, 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 da. So we went north. As we came in, we had a left and right junction. You decided to go left, and then you went right on the second one, so we're now facing north. Well, well, well. What have we here? Sandy Claws. No. Okay, we're all done with that round. We have 2 for kill, 2 for leave, 1 for doot, and 1 for well, well, well. So you got that reference. No one gets the Chelmsford 1, 2, 3 reference because it's a sitcom no one remembers. I think, yeah, you guys just want to kind of leave at this point, which is probably fair enough. South, yeah. Get the fuck away, retreat, south, that seems to be, yeah. You want revenge. Unfortunately, leaving is on the cards, but it seems. I mean, you can go back to the junction. You can come back later once you've got a clearer idea of what's going on here. If you can get a clear idea of what's going on here. There's no reason you never have to go back. Also, if we're going back to the crossroads, where do you want to go after that? Do you want to go to the south place, or do you want to go to the west place? East, sorry. Yeah. Brain. I'm not good at east and west, guys. South more? I mean, people are explicitly voting south, so... Gonna have a look and see what's south. More arrows fly your way. I can't remember, actually, once. Oh, there's a Halo reference. Yeah, south people are saying south. Okay, we're going south. Marvellous. Murder, 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 unfortunately, is not going to win here. But, yeah. So I need to now flip through some pages. Give me a second. You return. You retreat. Ever so slightly wounded, but 1 arrow up. There were multiple voices. We can't fight many Wendigos. We're only 1 very injured goblin. They are high-pitched voices. And you wish to keep going south, so let's do that. Yep. Coolio. Where's my pen? So we're now going this way. Much like the north part of the tunnel, this tunnel leads to another cave entrance. Upon entering the cave, you are not immediately attacked by arrows. And you can see that the roof of the cave isn't very much higher than the tunnel height itself, so Pal still can't really stand up very straight. The cave appears to be the lair of some sort of intelligent creature, for it contains small pieces of furniture. There's a wooden box just over 1 meter of length in the back of the cave. But that seems to be all of remarkable purpose in this room. What do you wish to do with it? So you're in a small place, there's some tatty old furniture and a wooden box. Hurrah! Something that isn't a crossroads or an arrow. So here's a box. Just over 1 meter in length, which is about as tall, slightly shorter than Pal, I imagine. I should read ahead to see what's actually in the box, if we ever find out. Just so I know, so that when I draw, we get sort of... I can improvise as we go along. Okay, I can work with that. Cool. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Not sure whether or not Pal has familial history enough to be able to complete that quote correctly, which is good, because it's not a great one. Right, what do we got? Loot the box. Wooden box open. What's in the box? Poke box with sword. Could be a mimic. Or search box. So generally people seem to be quite happy to just go in and just open the box. It has a lid. I should probably have drawn that. So there's a little lid on top. It's probably hinged in some capacity. It did say lift the lid if you wanted to, so it's just a lid that's sitting on top. It's fine. Yeah, this box. Molest the box? What? I thought that might be try. Music has stopped, presumably, because obviously, no, it's still there, just very, very. I'm going to just go to a different video. Let's go back to that. Ziegler one. There we are. Adrian von Ziegler. Good stuff. Yes. Cool. So what do we have? We have loots, molest what's in the box, poke box with sword, search box, grow emotionally attached to the box, replacing the father-shaped hole in our hearts, or set box on fire. Generally, we're just going to go in and have a look at the box. So, as Pal approaches the box, how are we going to work this? Roll 2d6, just for my personal pleasure. I want to improvise, but I don't want to do so in such a way that we just cheat, you know? Marvellous. Pal approaches the box, bearing the torch out in front, being able to see relatively clearly in this small cave system. And just before getting to the box, fortunately manages to realise that the lid is moving slightly. Before they actually have a chance to do anything about it, however, out jumps a small green creature that was hiding inside the box, a gremlin. Fortunately, Pal was wary enough by that point not to get too close, so the gremlin's attempts to slash at you with a small blade fail, because you saw the lid shaking slightly. Yeah, there's a gremlin in there. You were taken by surprise, and the gremlin tries to stab you with the dagger, but you're fine, because you get away. Right. You are now faced with the gremlin. Okay, so you have choices now as to what to do with the knife-wielding gremlin who's making very loud noises and waving a thing around. Wait, a knife, that's the one. Now I need to draw a gremlin. I don't know how to draw a gremlin. Let's draw a gremlin. Oh, hang on, more. Hang on. Sorry, auto mod. You're definitely touching auto mod's nerves today, aren't you, Troy? My attempt at drawing a gremlin. Vote caress the auto mod. The auto mod gets no love. It's just trying to do its job. Bless. Right, what options do we have for the gremlin that's currently running around with a knife? We have light gizmo on fire, burn it, burn it, burn it. Adopt gremlin as child, fight gremlin to the death, which just changed. Or caress the auto mod. Or vote show gremlin the blood eel carcass and say that it's going to die next. Roll for intimidation or stab the fuck. Oh, I love that swerve at the end. Look deeply into auto mod's eyes and ask for forgiveness. Oh. Yes. You gotta go to work. Well, have fun doing work and actually being productive, and we're gonna fight a gremlin. Thank you for coming along, Claps. Hopefully you're awake and you've had coffee and all that. Oh, more things. For real though, play the gremlin a song of friendship. Maybe eventually you'll be so absent that Trial get what he wants and replace you as the mod. No! If I make Try a mod, I mean, A, that's very dangerous. But B, because that means he's going to have control of auto mod and... But we're not going to replace you as mod. I think I could have as many mods as I like. I need to turn you all into mods. Right, what have we got? Fire, fire. Bang, bang. Adopt gremlin. Fight gremlin to death. For real though, play the gremlin the song of friendship. Show the gremlin a blood eel carcass and say it's going to die next, so intimidation. And that's auto mod stuff. So we have, I suppose, intimidate with fire seems to be the way forward with this. Have a good day, Plumps. Enjoy yourself.
That wasn't necessary of you, but you have my thanks.
Triforce Fusion, thank you for subscribing. That's very kind of you. And by which I mean Plamps, so thank you for gifting Triforce a subscription. That's also very kind of. That's like the eighth one you've gifted. Oh, 10th. It says in chat 10th. You've gifted 10 subscriptions in this. So thank you. You're very kind. Have a wonderful day at work. Enjoy yourself. Hello, Dark Sun. How you doing? Just as a quick recap, we met some wild... we threw half of our blood eel away for some vampire bats. We got attacked by some wild men who shot us in the right shoulder with an arrow. We then found a well, went down a well, went into a tunnel, and then got shot in the left shoulder by something. And we've gone the other way, and now we found a gremlin in a box. So, yeah. Oops, all friends. Very kind. Someone get a Discord link for the newbie? There's a newbie? Who's the newbie? We have a newbie? So yeah, so what are we doing now? There's fire. I don't think this has changed. Fire, fire, adopt, fight, death, play song of friendship, intimidate. So intimidate with fire seems to be the best way of doing things. Oh, new subscriber needs to do that. Maybe. I think we need to get Try's permission to do that. So yeah. Triforce, if you could give the link to the new person. Yeah. Trif Orkef Us Ion. That'd be great. You caught some of that before Twitch cut out. You're just gonna have to watch the VOD. Okay, that's fair enough. So we're gonna attempt to intimidate this gremlin. With the thing. I should probably roll for stats. I don't know. I mean, you're a goblin. You're not sort of that much bigger, I suppose. There you go, Trif Orky. There's your Discord link if you wish to join. Right. So Pal brandishes the torch in front of the gremlin. The gremlin seems slightly phased, but not entirely. Doesn't really seem to have put it off trying to slash you with a knife, though. And is now really starting to come towards you. It's very quick and very small. Like, you're, having to hunch down in this place. This is not really the best fighting environment for you, but the gremlin's just running around, doing all sorts of things. So it can quite easily evade any sort of fire tactics that you wish to swing in his face. Although it would give you an advantage in combat if you decide to fight him. Do you wish to attempt to leave, or do you wish to take this head on? Stab with recorder read. I don't think recorders have reads. By the way, I am actually making these decisions based on information I know about this game, rather than just, do they like fire? Righty-ho, cool. Just keeping track of things. Seeing what's happening. Right, what have we got? We have attack a bitch, retreat to the first crossroad, fuck 'em up, stab with the recorder, not read. Do a moida or flee. It seems like combat is the way here, so we're going to end on a fight. Righty-ho. So this little fellow is slightly agile, but you do also have so you have a disadvantage because of the cramped conditions, but you have the advantage of having the torch in your other hand. So yeah, we're gonna fight. Let's have a fight. Why not? We ended on a fight last time. We're gonna end on a fight this time. This is a gremlin, so it's not exactly a particularly vicious fight. What's our skill? Our skill is 9 with the helmet. So this is skill. And the gremlin skill is 5, so we are very much stronger than it. And we have stamina as well, which we have 16 stamina for us and 3 for the gremlin. So they're not particularly strong. They're a gremlin. What do you expect? Right. So who wishes to do some rolls? So we need 2 sets of 2d6. For the purposes of rolling for skill. So we need one pair of d6s for us and 1 pair of d6s for gremlin friend. A 1 and a 2, marvelous. That gives us 12. Should we designate who is pal and who is gremlin? I'll just take them as they come. It'll be pal first, then gremlin. I'll just, regardless of who does the thing. This is pal. This is Grem, the gremlin. Right, so the next one was 5 and a 3, which is 8. 8 gives 13. We get hit. It nips us in the legs with this little knife and goes like that. So, ow, that hurts. So we're now down to 14 stamina. Subsequently, I see somebody rolled a d69, which is cheating ever so slightly. I'm not going to add 53 to our score. It's fine. So yeah, he just slices at our ankles because it's very low down, and we're still trying to get used to fighting in very cramped conditions. So 4 and a 1, 5. So that gives us 14. So for those of you who don't know this system, we have a skill of 9. The gremlin has a skill of 5. Every round we roll 2d6 for us and 2d6 for the gremlin. We add that to our skill stat, and whoever's is higher does the damage. That's a 6, so that gives us 11 here. So we do damage because 14 is bigger than 11. Just got 1 health left. And there's, of course, by the way, there is a system in this game where you can test your luck in the middle of combat, which means you try to roll under your luck. If you are successful, you lose a luck point, but you do double damage. If you are unsuccessful, you do half damage. But people are rolling dice, so it's fine. Press F for sun. What's sun? Sonna? What? 4 and a 5 is 9, so that gives us 18. There is no way the gremlin can actually win that one, so it's dead. Boom. Kill gremlin. It just took a little bit of getting used to fighting in the cramped conditions, but you thwack the gremlin with the torch. It just sort of bats itself against the side of the cave and then just slumps down into a pile in the corner. Yeah, not necessarily dead, at least unconscious. It's not going to be attacking you anytime soon. It's absolutely not dead. It's fine. These aren't bones. They're like leaks. So yeah, it's just unconscious. Right, so congratulations, you've knocked a gremlin unconscious. You have lost 2 stamina though, so let me just update that. Again, at any point you can rest, eat some provisions, and like that. You rolled the finishing blow. Hurrah! Marvelous. So yeah, you're now in the room with the gremlin. You decide to see whether or not this was actually worth it, having been slashed in the ankles for so long. And rummaging through things, you see odd trinkets, bits of bone, some strange necklaces and stuff. But inexplicably, amongst everything else, you find an ingot of gold, a solid gold ingot. It's worth 28 gold pieces in total. However, it's extremely heavy. If you wish to take the gold ingot with you, you will have to get rid of something else, just to make room and be able to carry it out. So it's up to you. Do you wish to get rid of something that you don't need, or do you want to just leave the gold there and know it's there and you could come back? Or you could throw something away, take the gold, and then use the gold to buy the thing you threw away. It's up to you. I'm intrigued as to why specifically they chose 28 gold, but there we are. Being backed into a corner unleashed Pal's true strength, yes. Oh, I should probably update the thing. Sorry. Revote. Start the voting procedure again. Leave gold, adopt gremlin chart. This is probably not going to work, alas. It's just an ingot of gold. It's in there. It's all shiny and glittery. But yeah, if we do want gold, you have to explain what you want to get rid of, if you so desire. I would advise not getting rid of the sword. Probably is going to make life difficult, but it's not up to me. And it has to be something that makes sense. You can't get rid of the 2 arrows and say that's a fair swap. 3 arrows. Take gold, leave eel bits. Wait, no. Take gold, leave eel bits for 2. Take gold, leave eel bits or water rods. Take gold, adopt gremlin child. Oh, sorry, leave gold. Or leave gold, adopt gremlin child. We have 2 for that. Interesting. What's the difference? Oh, there's a comma in one of them. Must get off your bus, choose wisely. We'll see. So far it seems that we're going to get rid of eel bits, so think we're going to do that. We're going to get rid of the bits of the eel. Why we have enough money? Why are we getting rid of food? Don't know. Food may be scarce. Unless Chris says we can cook it for 10. I can cook it for 6, I reckon. Because it's got like blood in it, there's probably some good nutrients in there. Good iron, particularly given that you've lost a lot of blood from being shot. But you do have to cook it though. There's not a lot of foliage around. You have a torch, but you're not going to be able to cook the whole meat on the torch, and you need to do that somewhere safe. He could carry more stuff for us, or he could stab you in the legs again. There's Emily with her compassion. 10 after everything they've been through? No, 6. Look, I have elected, this music is particularly loud, I have elected to dampen some of the punishments that the game will throw at you at certain points, with regards to provisions and such. And as a consequence, I will also damage the boons that I give you, or dampen, sorry. Okay, what do we have? We have take gold, leave eel bits, or water rods for 1, leave gold, adopt gremlin. Take gold, leave eel bits, leave gold, adopt gremlin child. Stick sword in gremlin to ensure it's dead. Fine, leave gold and continue onwards. So it seems generally we're just gonna leave. There's 3 for leave. 3 for leave, 2 for take, and 1 for stick a sword in the gremlin. Who's doing Kira? What? Would our bread have dissolved in the well? No. The only downside to falling in the well was banging your head, but you had a helmet, so it's fine. That said, I'm not precluding the possibility that will happen in other bodies of water. Okay, seems like we're going to leave the gold. Wait, we are all voting for 2 things, and they'll... What? We are all voting for 2 things, and they all line up different. What? No, I'm at the moment, I'm purely seeing, are we going to take or are we going to leave? And there's 3 for leave and 2 for take. We should first vote if we want the gold. That's what I'm saying. Is there's only 2 there that say take, and there's 3 there that say leave. Regardless of what we're going to do after that. You also want Graham, yeah. We can agree on gold? I mean, that's the thing. Can we agree on gold? They aren't mutually exclusive. Take and leave are. Okay, hang on. Let's simplify matters immediately. New vote. Take or leave the gold. Nothing to do with the gremlin, nothing to do with what we're going to leave if we do take the gold. Just, do we want the gold? Simple. There's no point in bringing a dead gremlin unless you want to eat it. The gremlin is very wiry and thin. You're not going to get much sustenance out of that. He's not dead? I mean, you don't know he's dead, or if he's not dead. Right, what have we got? We have 2 for take, 2 for leave, 1 for take, 1 for take gold. Take the gold and take gold. That seems generally to be take. 4 for take, 2 for leave. Right, we're going to take the gold. What are we going to replace the gold with? What shall we leave behind? We have, to remind you, in your inventory, you have a sword, you have a potion of anti-poison, you have boots of leaping, rod of water finding, holy water, a rope of climbing, a potion of luck, your helmet, and the blood eel, and 3 arrows. Sorry, half of a blood eel. Did we pick anything else up? I don't think we did. No, it was the bats, the hill friends, and now the well. I think that's all that's happened. Leave gold. Water rods, eel. So it's a tie between eel and water rods right now. Oh, and torch. Yes, of course. You have a torch. That will burn out relatively quickly once you sort of leave, but you have it all the time you're down here at least. You can relight it on the other torches. We have a torch to keep the flesh-eating gremlins at bay. Yes, I mean, there's no guarantee there's not going to be more down here. Who shot the arrows at you? The underground arrows, that is. Still a tie. Eel or water rods. So this is when the voting system gets a little bit jank. Because it's like... I don't know what to do at this point. We've got another vote for eel. So those arrow fucks are grems, we can kill them? Look, I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying the only thing you've seen down here that is a living creature is a gremlin. And you were shot at by something else, which had a high-pitched voice. So it might be a gremlin, might not. Might be a goblin, might be the goblins you're looking for. Might be... Smeagol. Might be... some more of those hill men, but just particularly high-voiced ones. Looks like eel. We could also stick his head on the end of a torch and use it to threaten the others. Love it. Right. We'll leave the eel. Leaving bits of the eel behind, you pick up the gold for 28 gold pieces equivalent. I now have to do some quick arithmetic because my brain is bad. 44? 16 plus 28 is 44, yeah? Makes sense. And you have lost your blood eel because you're leaving it behind. And you can't come back for it because it'll rot. Right, so... let me refresh that. Bingo bongo. Goodbye, eel. Hello, lots and lots of gold. Right. We've done that. So you take the gold and you leave what's left of the eel. Sort of bleeding out onto the floor. Your backpack is very wet at this point. Right, okay, I think that's probably a good place to stop. We are in the well, we are here with the gremlin friend and the bar of gold. And we shall leave it there for now. I will make item icons for the arrows and the gold. No, we don't need an item for the gold because that's just gold. Yes, arrows and torch. So I'll remember to make those. I'll do those after the stream. And, yeah. Can we take the gremlin and throw it at the beings that fired the arrows at us? Look. What we do next week is what we do next week. But for now, we just under the well. In there. So, yeah. Thank you for everybody for coming along and for making the decisions. And taking 2 arrows to the shoulder. Which is, update map. I think I have. We're just sort of in the well. Slightly. So we went down and then this way. Arrows and gold. There we go. This is the inside of the well. Pal hasn't died yet, no. Lost a lot of health. Survived random hillmen who just wanted to take pot shots at you. Survived vampire bats with some quick thinking with blood eels. Got a lot of gold. A lot of gold. You found out an entire gold ingot. And all it cost you was an eel. Yeah. I'd say that was a fairly productive stream. We moved from here to here, which is about a third of the distance. So yeah, 3 streams, pretty good. Cool. Right. Well, thank you everyone for coming along. It is time to end the stream. Eel was a good thing. Vampire bats and gold taken care of. It was, yes. Again, this is why I like the improvisation, because there was no option for you to actually take the eel. You just wanted to, and I was like, yeah, sure. If you can find some use for it, then you found 2 uses. Well done. Right. Thank you again. This is always very fun. We're good at this. Maybe. Well, maybe. You've still got a lot of provisions. You've still got your luck potion. You've got gold, lots of gold at this point. And given your ability to backtrack, you can always go back to your Stromo and buy more magical stuff. I still have the list somewhere. Next week's drawing might be a bit dark, just a forewarning. It probably involves arrows, I imagine. And or a dead gremlin, yes, forgot about that. Dark Force. There's an emote. Yeah. Thank you everyone for coming along. It's always very fun. We have Saturday. We have XCOM. Timed mission. Someone's gonna die. Then a wild card on Sunday that I have not planned. Work something else out. I have to do the SSS comic this week, so I'm probably not going to want to draw. I'm going to want to do something else. Then again, Sundays tend to be, if I start the comic on Friday, as I should, because cramming it in on the Sunday is really not a healthy thing to do. But if I do start it when I need to, Sunday's usually just kind of putting it all together and having, graphic design more so than drawing. That's going to be more difficult with Clip Studio, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. You feel like everyone's very aggressive towards your child, and you do not appreciate that. Look, Chibi, you are the monarch of your alternate universes. You are more than welcome to take stories in a direction you wish. You do the entire comic on a Sunday? No. I usually, it's usually on a Saturday and a Sunday. But I should start it on the Friday, because then that's kind of comfortable and it's not cramming everything in, and my wrist hates me. So instead, I'd sort of do. My aim is to have everything sketched and at least partially inked on a Friday, and then I can get everything coloured and shaded on the Saturday, and then put it all together on the Sunday. That's the idea, but. I tend to procrastinate on the Friday, and I regret that come Sunday morning. So yeah. Don't chastise me, please. Forward planning. Yes, I know. I procrastinated today as well. There's lots of things. Yeah. I still need to write it. Haven't watched the streams yet. I feel like it might be nice to do the Thief Simulator one if they've still got the video of the previous one up. Then I can do sort of 2-parter. Or Mario Maker might be quite fun. Whatever they streamed today. Who knows? I have lots of choice now that I'm doing this every other week. It's quite nice. But yeah. I'll work it out. I'm waiting for a comic that feels like a nice ending point. And then I can start putting together maybe a second book. Because the problem I had with the first book was that the last comic of the year happened to be the one where I had the little message about, what the holiday time means to people and all that sort of stuff. It also was the first comic after Jacob and Julia announced that they were going out. So I had that in there, and it just felt like a lovely sort of closer, So I haven't really got to that point yet with a second book. None of them feel like, oh, this is a good way to end, And it's already going to be longer than the first one. which is always what I wanted to. I didn't want to take the piss and just release basically the same thing every time. And I also want to include like bonus materials, pre-sketches, and comics that didn't make it, or stuff like that. Mario, Jumpman Mario, the wonderful sociopath. Yeah. There was that tweet that made the rounds of why he says it's Mario time when the level ends. The argument being that it's Mario time before that. My argument is that it's your time before that, and finally Mario gets his time when you stop playing. No one ever sees it from the point of view of Mario. He wants to be in control of his own life, you know? Yeah. If the message don't present itself, you got to force it. Well, it's Mario's time to die. Oh dear, that's slightly bleaker. Do I watch Game Theory? No, I don't. They're a bit too zealous in their, I don't know. It's something about the atmosphere of Game Theory. But yeah, I do like game theory, as in the mathematical discipline of game theory. I'm not good at it. I don't really know it. My university did do a course on game theory, but it was run by the business department, and I was reliably informed by the maths department that anything that's run by the business department isn't actually maths. They just tell you a few formulae, and then you've got to regurgitate them in an exam, and then you pass. And I'm like, yeah, that's not maths. You have a seething hatred for MatPat? I don't go that far. He seems... I watch streams of him with his partner, and there's something about the two of them. They look just a little too clean, if you know what I mean. They look like they've been sort of manufactured as the perfect couple. It just... something odd about them. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I'm not a fan, but it's smug. I don't know. Certainly, the way he speaks in his videos comes across as smug, but I don't think he himself is smug. I don't know. Difficult. You ever heard of Girl Defined? What? It's a Christian YouTube channel that's basically super conservative. That's a reason to stay away immediately. But every video they do look so manufactured it's creepy. Yeah. Might be interesting. Why would someone watch that? Because they themselves are also super conservative? Probably. Why would anyone here watch that? I don't know. But, oh, Miss knows. I don't know. It's just... Sometimes you just have a gut reaction about things, and it's not always right. It's prejudicial, as is the very nature of gut reactions. You are prejudging. But you don't know that you're super conservative. I have a fair old amount of evidence to imply that you might not be. Crow. But yeah. Anyway. Sure, I was going to say something else. We are not yucking anyone else's yum. What? You alright, miss? There are only two genders, Chris, the judges and the judged. What? That sounds like something from Judge Dredd. Hot conservative take. What? I don't know. The world's a weird place. People like sound bites even though they don't make sense. Which is obviously not true of me because I waffle on for about 20 minutes. Are you alright? You ask yourself that so much. Yeah. It's good to ask yourself that. Because when you don't, that's when you start getting complacent and you start... Yeah. Problems. You're just trying to be funny, but you're not. That's fine. Things are very difficult to communicate, particularly humour. Very difficult to communicate via text, particularly in a live setting. You know. Waffle, waffle. Put up just... Oh, yes, of course. Yes, I should have been doing this while there was waffling going on. There we go. Art. And also change that to Saturday. Hurrah. So yes, Just Miss, for those of you who do not know, Just Miss does wonderful art for these streams. Don't push yourself to do it every week if you don't feel like it, Miss. That's fine, but you can see the full bit of this art over on Miss's Twitter, at Just Miss Art. I thought I'd zoom in on Pal for the purposes of this, but there's very nice background stuff, and these are all presented as the front cover of a book, which is really nice. I believe the book in the middle says Adventuring for Dummies, but yeah, and there's a bit of bits of grass sticking out, some plasters. It's very cool. I like it. Yeah. Don't push yourself every week to do it if you don't feel up to it. It's fun. Shush. Shush you. Do as I say and not as I do. I want to be the example that you hold up to say, I'm not doing that. We used to have a doctor who was like that. He's fat, used to smoke, and he was like perfect example of like, you know, I know exactly all the health things that you should do, and if you don't do it, look at me. This is what you will become. It's kind of like, is that a good idea? Not sure that's a good idea. Can't wait to make a book titled R.I.P. Pal. Yeah, maybe. That'll be difficult to predict. Yes, the helmet is under the foot. There's Miss knows how to do very well detailed and very cool things. Easter eggs. It's always good fun. So yeah, I should end at some point, by which I mean the stream, not myself. Well, I'm going to end, you know, stoicism, everything ends. But yeah, plasters, yes, plasters. We call it plasters. Have a wonderful time, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you for coming along to the stream. XCOM on Saturday. I got a couple of days break, which is nice. Possibly Chibi Nether's Days tomorrow? Maybe? Possibly? Is there going to be Chibi Nether's Days? Maybe? Don't know. Chibi Nether's Days? Maybe. Tomorrow. Everyone get excited for that. So yeah, there's that tomorrow. That will certainly fill any void there, maybe. Chibi Nether's Days, 4th of July. That is, yeah, something to celebrate. Hurrah. So yeah, have a good time, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. Goodbye. Be kind. Do good.